Welcome back. My name is Ismael Delgado, and I'll be your presenter for today. I work for the Veterans Business Outreach Center, and I'm also a fellow veteran. Today we'll be looking at Module 5, Roles of the Business Owner. The objectives of this presentation or module are to describe the resources of an owner-manager in a small business, explain resource-based strategic planning and niche market identification, inform on some of the different business services available for small businesses. Major responsibilities for a small business owner. Well, they do personal manager, accounting, sales, marketing and advertisement, legal, technology, receptionist, clerical, strategic business planning. They're also the purchaser, and sometimes as a small business owner, you're also the one that's opening and closing the doors, and even sweeping and taking care of the custodial services in your facilities of your business. As you can see, a business owner wears many hats. He or she is involved in many activities of the business. One way to look at managing your business that can help you not come unglued as you try to manage the different directions of different requirements of your business operation is to look at 4 resources managed by a small business owner: human resources, physical resources, financial resources, and information resources. These 4 resources, or these 4 categories, can help you manage your business and compartmentalize the activities involved in business operation into these 4 areas that can help you better manage the activities of your business. In the previous slide, we learned about the 4 resources the small business owner manages: human resources, physical assets, financial resources, and informational resources. In this slide, we look at it from a diagram perspective, how they interact in a small business. In big companies, the chief executive officer interacts with their different management teams for their respective field. As a small business owner, you might not have the resources or the staff to specialize in different departments of your business. And again, as the name implies, wearing many hats, you might have to be dabbing into each one of them. Human resources, physical resources, information and financial resources again. And you're going to be right in the middle of that diagram. Perhaps not the expert, but you need, as a business owner, to have basic knowledge of those functional areas of your business. Human resources, most common management activity. When people think of human resources, they're thinking of staff, of managing people, and certainly that is a big part. From the hiring and interviewing to employee training and development, operations implementation such as schedules, procedures and policies, to evaluations and promoting and compensation of employees, to the employee termination if need to. These are some of the things as a business owner you're going to have to set the pace and the structures and the policies for these areas. It's not just managing the staff and putting the stock of inventory, but all the thing that goes behind that to have that employee to be able to put stock and inventory in the proper shelves. Modern management talks about Theory X and Theory Y, where Theory X is old school and you micromanage and you make sure people are doing their job. You know, Theory Y is more of a more modern approach where you have well-trained people that do their job and they take things to the final consequences. That is, they're being trained to be empowered and be interactive and participate in the process of operations of the business. The reality of the matter is that it's nor Theory X nor Theory Y, but a situational leadership where there's going to be times where you have to micromanage people, especially because they're new or they're learning or the experience is not quite there. And there's going to be times where you know that employee is well seasoned and experienced and knows the job, and you've empowered this individual to take things to the final consequences. With those, you don't micromanage. You develop with this Theory Y management style with them. So as a manager, there's going to be times where you micromanage with new staff or perhaps even difficult employees. And there's going to be times where you just step back and work with your professionals in your organization. Human resources, Questions to ask yourself. What positions do I have to fill? What are the qualifications or requirements? Education and experience. Tools to use in coming up with a job description. Employee handbook. Resources. Your local workforce services. Society for Human Resource Management. Attorneys in your local small business development center, or in this case, the Veterans Business Outreach Center, can help you developing your human resources from their training, procedures, and employee handbook. These are things to look into as you manage your business in regards to human resources. Physical resources. What you use and how you use your physical assets. It's about making money. It's a return on your investment. After all, you're there to make money. Not owning the most assets, but the most relevant assets. Asset management. Are you going to buy or lease? What location are you going to choose? If you're doing a model that's business to business, do you need to be in prime real estate? Maybe you need to be in the industrial park. On the other hand, if you're dealing with business to consumer, maybe a high-end retail, tier 1 location after all, might be more important for the type of business you're looking into. Again, are you going to lease or buy? Are you going to outsource or are you going to make it in-house? What's more efficient? Outsourcing might help you be more focused in what you intend to do, but making it in-house might improve the quality and control of that quality. Those are questions to ask regarding physical resources. If you make it in-house, it might require for you to have the tools and equipment to do it. Questions to ask yourself. What things do I need to sell my products or services? How do I make sure that I am taking care of these resources? Tools to use. Operational manuals, SOPs, invest in maintenance, and have a list of equipment with the relevant information. If it's the fleet getting old, what's their salvage value? What's the maintenance schedule to prolong or optimize the use of the engine in that piece of equipment? Plan ahead for capital expenditures when your fleet is getting old. You need to get rid of it to get new and more efficient and productive equipment. Resources. Industry associations, private consultants and suppliers can help you in determining what kind of physical resources you need. Financial resources. Startups. Startup and working capital needs for a total project cost. How much money are you going to need to do this project? Existing businesses, what do you need to do to increase sales? Wholesale, retail, catalog, online, or other. What are going to be your distribution channels, your point of sales? If you're trying to lower cost, issues of quality, reliability, and sustainability. You know, when you look into cutting corners, is that the right thing to do? For financial resources, you know, as you use your resources to lower cost, is that going to affect your quality? How about the reliability? Or perhaps a combination of both. You're trying to increase sales while at the same time lowering costs. So managing financial resources has many considerations such as the ones we just seen. Do you have the financial resources required for my business to operate effectively and meet strategic goals? Meaning, do you have enough working capital to sustain your business during the lean periods because perhaps you're a startup and you're barely developing your customer base? Or perhaps you have a business that has seasonality effects and there has low months and high months in sales. Do you have that working capital to sustain you during those low or lean months of the year? Do you know how your business is performing in financial terms? Are you familiar with the ratios? Is it being efficient? Do you know how much capital is needed for the business in the future if you want to expand? What would it cost to expand and open a second or a third location? Do you know what will it be required to get it? Tools to use, accounting systems. In previous modules, they talked about bookkeeping and accounting, keeping track of those operational activities, those transactions, monthly and quarterly budgets and reviews, Review it last month. How are we doing compared to last month? This Christmas season, are sales going up just for this year? How do they compare with previous years? Annual projections and comparisons. How are you doing compared with last year overall? You know, is the recession affecting you? Is the growth period helping you in the economy? What are your financial ratios? You might think you're profitable, but when you compare yourself with the industry, how are your financial ratios compared to them? Are you on target? Do you have better ratios? Are your ratios weaker than the national industry standard? And if so, what can you do to improve them? Resources that can help you answer some of these questions are your CPA, Small Business Development Center, or again, the Veterans Business Outreach Center. Programs such as QuickBooks or RMA, which are publications that you can find at your local library or through a Small Business Development Center that can show you these ratios of industry so you can compare how you're doing with the industry. Informational resources, proprietary intellectual rights. Your products, are they patent? Do you have copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets? Do you have tacit knowledge and procedures on how you do things that it's important that you keep them in such a way so if employees leave, there's a manual that they know how to continue doing those processes? Do you protect those processes? Systems technology. In the day of age of computers and the internet and email, how's your MIS or CIS system? Is it robust enough to handle the volume of sales that you have? Is your MIS system compatible to your needs to produce the reports and generate the analysis that you need to do to see and compare how you're doing in your business? Questions to ask. Do you have all the necessary knowledge to manage the business in the most appropriate way in order to meet the strategic goals? Can you communicate this information easily with your managers or your staff so they can target higher or better goals? Do you have an emergency plan? What happens in a contingency where you have a recession? Is your informational resources helping you to be able to manage that? Do you have the tools, operational manuals, computer systems and filing systems? Do you have the market research to make changes to your market analysis and perhaps even to your product line as markets have changed? New technologies have come out. You don't want to run the risk of becoming irrelevant because of a new disruptive technology or a new product line out there that's competing with you directly and you might not be aware because you're not keeping tabs of them. Resources. Are you in the cloud? Are you using MS 365, Gmail, Google Docs, Dropbox, Skype? Are you using the tools to leverage yourself to have higher productivity? Put it all together. Ask yourself, what resources are most essential to my business? What are the strengths and weaknesses in managing my business and its resources? If need, will I hire employees or contract or outsource tasks to address weaknesses? Get training and support when necessary? Again, if needing training or support, remember you have the Small Business Development Center or centers like VBOC, the Veterans Business Outreach Center, in this case that focus on helping veterans such as yourselves to put things together. In summary, understand the various roles of a business owner. Understand that you wear many hats, and those hats can be compartmentalized into physical assets, human assets, financial assets, and informational assets. Ask the right questions to ensure that you have the necessary resources to succeed and that you are using them properly. Know what tools and resources are available to you. And with this, we conclude this presentation, and we thank you for your time and attention. Thank you.